Alright, so to name polyatomic acid salts, the pattern here is that you should see a hydrogen next to the polyatomic ion. So it's HCO3, and that's what makes something a polyatomic acid salts. You've got your metal, you've got hydrogen with the polyatomic ion. So the first thing I would do is I'd name the metal. So the metal is calcium. And you have two options here. You can then say that it is hydrogen carbonate, and that hydrogen just tells you that there's a hydrogen right here. So hydrogen carbonate, hydrogen carbonate. The other thing you can do, or an option that you can do, is you can also call it calcium bicarbonate. And that would, the bi in this situation, the bi tells us that there's a hydrogen with the carbonate. In this example, you have the bi being said. So you see it's biphosphate. So the first thing I would do is I'd look at phosphate, and I know that phosphate, from looking at a list of polyatomic ions, is PO4 3 negative. So when you have biphosphate, you would write HPO4, and because hydrogen's in there, it's now HPO4 2 negative. So your charges decrease by a factor of 1. So if you had carbonate, for example, like in the example I just showed you, CO3 2 negative, if it was bicarbonate, it'd be HCO3 1 negative. And if you remember from the example I just showed you, there was 2 carbonates, or 2 bicarbonates for every 1 calcium, and that's why, because bicarbonate has a charge of -1. I'm just going to erase that because I need some room to work here. So what's going to happen now is we need to figure out the charge on stannic. So stannic is also tin, and tin symbol is SN, and because the ending is ik, you know that it's going to be the larger of the 2 charges, so it's going to be 4 positive. So now you're going to use the crisscross method, and I'll even whistle it for you here. So, and I get SN2 bracket HPO4 bracket 4. But don't forget that because these 2 numbers right here are multiples of each other, we need to reduce. So what this ends up reducing to is we get SN bracket HPO4 2. I hope that's helpful, and good luck with your homework.